Here's today's tarot reading from the woods. You choose between the sky, the mountain, and the river, air, earth, or water. I'll pull cards for each and offer an interpretation, and each interpretation will be time-stamped in the captions. Sky, mountain, river. Hi, I'm Brooke, tarot reader in the woods. I'll describe the themes and stories that the cards are telling, offering them as inspiration to your own magical meaning-making machine, your creative subconscious. So just notice synchronicities. Notice how the readings make you feel and what they make you think of. I often describe the tarot as a waking dream, just a chance encounter during the day that may turn out to offer some perspective, some guidance, or feel useful in some way. We'll begin with the cards for the sky. At the top, we have the Knight of Swords reversed and the Page of Wands. These cards feel like they're describing the opportunity to have some potentially surprising insight into someone who feels like a bully in our lives. And always a reminder that that bully might be an internal one. But that reverse Knight of Swords often describes someone who is cutting with their words. You can just imagine this person as someone who is smug, condescending, has a sneer, a smirk on their face. And the Page of Wands is the card that it's a messenger card. It brings news. It brings fresh perspectives. There's a little bit of a sense of the winds of change that come along with this card. So perhaps notice wherever in our life we experience this reversed Knight of Swords energy, whether it's someone else's relationship to us, the way that we engage someone else, or the way that we talk to some part of ourselves. This Page of Wands suggests that we might be able to pick up some important new information or understanding, some kind of a message about this behavior or this character, this person, that allows for the possibility of like a change in direction, a change in behavior, or at the very least like a change in our comprehension of what's going on. The cards for the mountains and the trees, the earth element in the middle, are Five of Cups reversed and the Two of Swords. So the reversed Five of Cups can describe some place in our life where we are in a state of freeze, a state of inaction, of not knowing what to do. And with the Two of Swords, typically describes a situation that feels like tension or stress, something trying to be worked out. And with the reverse Five of Cups, then it feels like rather maybe than stepping into the fray or trying to work it out or feeling this stress in our bodies, we've just chosen to, or our reptile brain, if that's what is responding to the situation, is making us kind of pull back and be paralyzed and do nothing. But with cards like this, this Two of Swords represents a situation that it's probably not going to get any better. It's probably not going to change. It's probably not going to turn into a situation where everybody agrees on something. When this card is here, there is something that creates this tension that is irreconcilable in some way. And yet we are being asked to step into this moment and take some kind of action, maybe make some kind of decision. So the takeaway from these two cards feels like the guidance is just to do the first right thing. If we can't see the end goal, if we can't figure out how to get all the way through, what is just the next best thing for us to do immediately? And can we get ourselves to take that step so that we aren't stuck in a state of immobility? The cards for the river, the water element, are at the bottom. We have the Two of Discs and the Magus. The story that comes to mind as soon as I saw these two cards is something like the principles of improv, because the Two of Discs is the card of like readiness, like being ready to turn as soon as the information comes to us that indicates we need to go that way, or being ready to, change positions, or even change our, demeanor, our way of interacting in the world. Like there is a responsiveness inherent in the Two of Discs and like a smoothness to it. And the Magician is the card of our imagination, our ability to use the tools that are at our disposal. And so it almost feels like, a really good actor in an improv troupe who is able to be the magician, right? Use the tools at their disposal, make the magic happen through their imagination, through their performance, and being available to, the feedback from the other performers, from the audience that's coming into their sphere and that they are using then to create with. These cards have a feeling of creativity. They have a feeling of yes and. They have a feeling of consenting to the next step in the process, like consenting to life, surrendering to what's coming and playing with it and creating something with it. I would say with both of these cards, one of the first words that comes to mind is the word adept. These cards describe us in a situation where we are able to skillfully react to whatever life throws our way. And even more importantly, weave it into something that feels meaningful in our lives. Like it's not just being part of this improv troupe, but in the feedback loop that we are in, creating something for ourselves that is foundational.